You know what? That's funny is when I was 16 or 17, my mom put me in rehab, and I bought the shirt that said "Rehab's for Quitters," and I went to group and I like put it under my sweatshirt and I took it off. They kicked me out of Toledo Hospital IOP.
I've had a cigar store for about 15 years. It sounded like a whole lot more fun than medical school, and it was way easier to marry a doctor than to go through it myself. So.
This chick thought that I was experienced, and she like fucking bit my neck, and I literally wanted to punch her. Not my thing.
Vanilla gorilla over here.
Vanilla gorilla.
My office is on the floor. They see my door open, they're coming in there. For the most random questions that have nothing to do with it. I'm like mid-email, mid-screen, like in depth of doing something, and they'll come up and be like, yeah, do you know where the mop is? And I'm like, no.
He's the guy just owned the building.
But I just genuinely love people and want the best for them.
The most traumatic thing I've done was overdose on my grandma's bathtub.
I knew that one.
She was like the only person I had left at that time.
Yeah.
After my active addiction. That
She
allowed
never
me
gave
around,
up on you.
Never
She
gave
was
up
always
on me,
there.
and she was always there.
Hi everybody. We're here at our first annual podcast. Not annual, I guess, but a podcast.
It's definitely not annual.
It's gonna be
monthly,
biannually, monthly. We'll do two a month.
Quarterly.
This month only one, because we're unprepared and we procrastinate. So, no, it's the name of the podcast is going to be it's TAT. A lot of people have been asking us what TAT is and making fun of it or whatever. And so what TAT is, it's the Altruistic Trudge. And we came up with that as a partner group, Josh, and I, because what altruism means to us is to give freely without looking for anything in return. And the trudge is like just trudging through life. And so, we try to make sure that the things we do impact the people around us. And that's kind of the idea. And hence why we have our first guest here tonight, which I'll get to, and some of those things. So I am TJ Northrup. I am a person in recovery. I'm a business owner. I'm a stepfather. And I'm a friend. And I'm glad to be here. And off to my left.
What's your pronouns?
They, their, them, him. Did I cover them? Did I cover them all?
Yeah.
All right.
That was good. Joshua Elchert. I would just say serial entrepreneur, real estate owner. That's it.
What kind of cereal?
Actually, Raisin Bran lately, dude. The fiber, man. I'm 45,
Yeah.
boy. You gotta get the
boy's gotta make
pipes
sure he's gonna
flowing.
poop.
You gotta make sure that poop's
Yeah,
flowing.
his poop's been off regular.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Joshua Dressel, dad, business owner, business partner. I'm also in recovery. And I don't eat cereal for breakfast. I don't like dairy. Believe it or not, I don't drink milk.
Really? You don't like dairy? What a wild thing. Because you can't buy it at the grocery store. Yeah. We'll get to that later. We'll get to that later. What we're talking about, but yeah, he's a weird.
More than one
We found out that you're a paleo.
Paleo.
You know what a paleo is, Chris? I do. Yeah, he's a paleo. You know what a paleo is?
No.
It's only what the caveman would eat. He's a caveman.
Single man and single ingredients.
Yeah.
Yeah, like eggs. Like, so if you lived in a cave and that's what you could eat, that's the only thing he eats. Like rocks and dirt.
Okay. Paleo.
And last but our guest.
Oh, Chris Rosenthal, degenerate, dog dad,
Good one.
not in recovery.
Hey, there it is. Yeah.
Our guy Chris.
Yeah, for sure.
Haven't quite quit yet.
Today.
Cigar stores, lounge owner, and that's about it.
Scratch golfer, right?
Yes, scratch golfer.
Scratch
Really?
golfer.
I didn't know that.
Both hands.
Big time.
Yeah. You
He's
can play from the right or
just
the
as much.
left.
Yeah, these two are like they don't. You ever see them talking about golf?
Have you guys played?
Not yet. We haven't got there yet. We've both been busy. I've invited them out, but I am playing tomorrow morning actually, and Sunday. So, but you played all week, right?
All week.
Yeah,
all week. Whooping on some Italians.
Yeah.
Italian Bowl's in town. Yeah, the Italian Bowl's in town.
How was that?
I invited you guys to go to the thing.
What thing?
That was part of the Italian Bowl at the casino where Chris wanted us to go. And you guys just blew it off.
Oh.
The Italian
You didn't invite me to
designers.
the golf club. That's
He said golf on a wet. But
Yeah, they
Italian
played
bowl.
golf at Sylvania.
That was the next day. Yeah.
Yeah, it was miserable. It was a
Eric-
hard. The surface of the sun, 5.5 hour rounds.
Sheesh.
Absolutely miserable.
E-Money played with him.
Big E played?
Yeah, Big A played.
Yeah.
That's who was here last night.
Yeah, he was my partner yesterday. We smoked some Italians together yesterday, and then me and another guy named Aubrey smoked some more Italians today. And I think after all that misery, we tied like 15 points to 15 points. It was a whole waste of time.
Hornsby?
Yeah.
Shout him out. That's my guy.
That's your real estate guy.
Yeah, that's that guy.
Your observation over there.
Yeah, actually,
I like what he's doing there. It's funny.
I seen that you were Francisco. He was one of the Italian guys. He's a player though.
Scratch golfer, a good player.
Yeah, he's a player. He's a player.
Is Obbs good at golf?
He can be.
All right.
He can't. I mean, it's either really good or really not good.
Got
There's
it.
not a whole lot of in
Same,
between.
dude. That's insane. That's how I am too. I'm like really super streaky.
Hey,
Shout out to the camera guy back here. We played like a couple weeks ago. He's like, oh, I'm not that good. First drive, like 250 in the middle, shot 83. And he's like, oh, like, oh, okay. You know?
Shout out to the camera guy because he also has a phenomenal first name, by the way, Mr.
Josh.
Josh Coven. Thank you.
Three
my friend.
Joshes.
Yeah, 3 Joshes in the room.
Triple J, baby.
Triple J, baby.
So
Surrounded on the outskirts of J's.
yeah, so we the idea of the podcast here is like to kind of like branch outside of our normal realm and like and get into the nitty gritty of some of like the business stuff or some of the funny stuff or and just really to get to know people in the community. The networking is really important to us. To the three of us, and I'm sure Chris as well. Once we kind of get into a story, it's like, in business, like the more people you know, the better that you're going to do, and the better you treat your relationships, the better you're going to do. And so, we walked into this cigar bar probably
Week before they opened.
week before they
Because of
opened.
a
Because
relationship.
of a relationship Josh had.
Yep.
with
and
Chris.
Yep. And so like
The skinnier Chris, not
Yeah,
the fat.
yeah.
Bossinger.
Bossinger.
Yeah,
Shout out
we
to
love
Bossinger.
you. We love you.
yeah. And
Also a quitter.
is that what you call us, quitters?
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
I love that, dude. We're fucking quitters. Hell yeah. Yeah, for sure. I remember, what's funny is when I was like 16 or 17, and my mom put me in rehab, and it was at Toledo Hospital actually, and I
Back
had
in
to go,
the day.
and I bought at Spencer's at the time. I bought the shirt that said "Rehabs for Quitters," and I went to group, and I like put it under my sweatshirt, and I took it off, and like they walked out, and they came in, and they kicked me out of Toledo Hospital IOP.
Because you're a quitter.
Because I was like, I wasn't ready to quit. That's
For sure.
Yeah, it was nowhere near quitting. Actually, the opposite of quitting.
The fact that you had that much energy in planning while in the space of going into rehab to go to Spencer and get
buy
the
a
shirt.
shirt that said
Damn,
Rehabs
that's,
for
if you
Quitters.
think
yeah,
about
well, I
that,
was
that's
committed.
kind of deep.
I've always been committed.
We know that.
Yeah, I'm committed when I do things. And well, the thing is, it was my third rehab stint already at 17. So that's for another day. But
That sounds like a right now thing.
yeah. Yeah, so the first time I was in treatment, my parents got divorced, and my mom left my dad. And if my mom was going to come back home, my dad and I both had to go to rehab. And so, I went to rehab, and it's funny because like I was in 7th grade going into 8th grade, I believe, and so I go to this treatment program, and it was like one time a week for 3 weeks or something. And I went and
Solid programming there.
Program.
yeah, it was called like EOP, which I don't think we have that anymore. And
Good thing.
But yeah, but the thing that they didn't tell me about was when you're done, you had a follow up at the last week, and so I got done and I started smoking weed again right away, and so I went back and they're like, you have to drop, and I was like, what? So I was like, oh yeah, I don't know if I could do that. And obviously at the time I was young, and so I told myself, and then they put me in IOP. So I was imagine a 15-year-old in our IOP, and I
Mentally, most of them we were 15. So.
yeah.
15's being generous.
So it was like I'm 15 and I'm in IOP and I'm in with the other people, and this guy's like, all you have to do is drink Jello, and you'll pass your drug test. And so he tried it the next week. And then I just proceeded to smoke weed all the way through IOP when I was 15. So, I was already ahead of the game. So already ahead of the curve.
What? Did the Jello work?
Mm-hmm.
What?
Yeah. So if you 1 hour before you went, you had to smoke the day before. It was like a whole method, and then you had to drink like a Jello. It's so gross, dude. Like you get the packet of Jello in warm water in like a 20-ounce cup. You pour it in, stir it, and you drink it like an hour before you go. And you drink 2 cups of cold water, and you pee 1 time before you go. And halfway through your stream, you'll see it go completely clear. And then
you go.
and then
you
you
drop
go,
the cup when it's.
No. When you go, your next pee will be completely clear and you're good to go.
Oh, okay. So
But it only works for
halfway
weed. So anybody that's trying to do cocaine, don't give it a try. You go to
That
jail.
is not endorsed by us, by the way. That is not behavior that's endorsed by us whatsoever.
Yeah, at all. I would never do that. Actually, it was just made that up and never happened.
So did your dad go too?
Yeah.
Was he in EOP?
My dad went to IOP and he
He had a high level of hair right off. Rip.
Yeah, he went. 6 months. He stayed sober for 6 months and realized he could quit if he wanted to, and now he still drinks. So, but that's again another
Is going to
story.
rehab for marijuana kind of like going to jail for jaywalking?
Yeah. Well, you know what's crazy is like, sure, if that was like the only thing that I was doing, it probably wouldn't be a big deal. But like, I remember when I was in IOP, actually, I had to go to meetings too, and so it was like summertime, and like they had this festival that we go to, a carnival in the area, and I decided it was a good idea to take acid and go to the carnival.
Absolutely.
And I forgot that I was supposed to go to a meeting that night, and so my mom comes and gets me
To take you to the meeting and you're
to take me
tripping
to a
balls.
meeting.
Oh,
And so I go to this NA meeting, and I'm sitting there, and I'm like looking around, like, what's wrong with these people? Like, they just want to quit doing. I love doing drugs, And so like, I was like judging them, and here I'm like 15 years old on acid at an NA meeting because I've been treatment, and had a wild. So yeah. Anyways, so back to some of the topics. I think we should get in some of the topics, and I wanted to like. Kind of like, I don't want to keep it kind of lighthearted, but I do want to make sure that, we highlight some of the stuff that we're doing. And
can we hear the story before we do that?
I just want to jump in the story of
Can
how
we
we met
hear
Chris.
the story? Oh, go ahead.
No, exactly. I think that's a big part of like how Bossinger, you made the phone call and kind of do a brief introduction of how we even got here.
Yeah,
So,
go ahead.
Go ahead.
That's you.
Well, all I wanted to know was about Black Rose, but the story of Black Rose and how it started. But we were looking for a cigar place. I own a company called Beacon Referral Group. We were at a meeting, our business meeting, weekly meeting, and we were talking. And actually, Rob K, shout out him, who's a real estate broker too.
Not a quitter.
Definitely not a quitter.
I just left him at the club. Trust me.
His wife did some of the decor in here as well too, right? Or helped a little bit.
Carrie? No.
Somebody said
He
that.
said, "Don't steal my shine, man."
Okay.
I went to high school with Carrie though.
So it was kind of like predestined. People had been telling me about it, and I really didn't give it a thought because we had a cigar home where we were happy, and then we decided to look for something new. And I talked to Chris, and Chris made a call and made it happen. And
Bossinger made the call to this Chris.
Right, Bossinger
Skinny
made the
Chris
call to
called
Chris.
This Chris.
Skinny Chris.
Chris to Chris.
Quitter
assists.
Chris. Quitter Chris
Called
Right.
not Quitter Chris. Yeah.
And we came and.
It was like a week before they opened.
Yeah, and was very welcoming, let us in, and we kind of knew right away. I think we signed for a locker that day, right?
We signed up for
just
membership that day. We knew that
Yeah.
day we walked through the place that this was going to be our new home.
Which for me mimics a lot of the things that we do. I don't believe in. I feel like there's God or coincidences, and like I look for signs like that. But like a lot of the stuff we do within TAT as a partnership, I feel like is preordained, and we could kind of feel it in the moment. And that was one of those things where it just felt right. We did it, and we pretty much live here now. But I wanted to hear the story. And that day, you were kind of telling, giving them before these losers got here. We were kind of talking about Ann Arbor, and you were giving me a little bit of a backstory, and then they pulled up, and then we had to stop. So could you kind of run us through the history of Black Rose?
Yeah, I don't know how far we need to or want to go back, but the brief history is I've had a cigar store in Ann Arbor for about 15 years. I've run it for a total of 20. It was a part-time job while I was in school at U of M. It was a part-time job after I graduated that turned into a full-time job when I bought it. it sounded like a whole lot more fun than medical school, and it was way easier to marry a doctor than to go through it myself. So,
Shout out to Chris's wife's
yeah,
doctor.
hey babe, love
Yeah.
you. She knows that story. So, anyway, so my not childhood, but like high school-ish friend, he worked at cigar shops and in college too, and it's always been kind of a shared interest between the two of us. He's a lawyer in Miami, and last two Thanksgivings ago, he called me and said, "Hey, did you find us a building yet?" I said, "Man, I'm looking. There isn't very much." And it's like the day after Thanksgiving, or maybe even Thanksgiving night. And he's also not a quitter, so we had been partaking, and we were talking on the phone. And I said, "Look, I'll prove it to you." And I looked up on LoopNet, and I was, "Holy crap! Like this one looks pretty good." And that was the day after Thanksgiving, and by Monday we were under contract, and by December 23rd we were at closing. So super quick. We knew it was the right one. We've always wanted to do one together, and we were both kind of at a place in life where we could. So that's kind of how it started. We had time. We were in no rush. Both of us have jobs, so this was not our only source of income. So it was like we could do it right. What turned into, all right, let's slap some paint up and build a humidor, turned into, let's just do it slow and do it right. And I think we did. Our whole vibe is kind of like
sure.
No, it's super dope.
nice,
Super dope.
clean basement, man cave or woman cave, but not too nice. We want you to be comfortable, like relax. You don't want to be stuffy.
Yeah, you don't want to come in here with like a tuxedo on or something.
I
So-
think there's something new I see every single time. Like there's a couple books that I read, like the Big Book, because I am a quitter. That a second time around I get something new. But I'll be in here walking around like, oh damn, I've been here 100 times, but I didn't notice that, which is
Well,
dope.
don't let it play with your head, because things show up for my partner like, I don't know, 3 or 4 times a week. So it
sense.
very may well be new.
Yeah. No, everything's really cool here. That was kind of like the idea when we like walked in here. It was like we like the vibe, and we come in here after work and we talk about the meeting and have a meeting about the meeting, and then probably another meeting about that after
The
that
meeting after the meeting after the
And,
meeting of the meeting.
Oh,
You know,
we were gonna design. I don't know if we ever told you this, but we were going to build our own version of this for ourselves, and like we had put some energy into
and then
it,
we got
made
here,
some
we're like, well, it's
connections,
already made for us.
and then
Yeah,
we were
it's
like,
perfect.
yeah.
Yeah, there goes
Yeah.
that idea. You already did it for us.
And only that, you took a lot of really thought process of your cigar humidor is phenomenal. Like the selection in there is like literally
Thank
top
you.
notch.
Thank you.
It's
I'm
definitely-
actually, I'm going to be honest, it's not quite where I'd like it to be. We happened to choose an opening day because we were never going to open. Unless we picked a date and just stuck to it, we just kept tinkering. And so we picked a date, and once we stuck to it, I realized that the date we picked was about 3 weeks after our local, like our national trade show. And so when we started ordering cigars, I was like, man, like trade show back orders go months. And if I want this thing to look full, it's got to be stuff I know is going to come. So a lot of bigger brands are in here right now, and they're great, and they've been there forever, and there's a reason they've been there forever. But a lot of the little guys, we just haven't gotten in yet because it was going to take time. And so that's my next project, is refining a little bit of what's in there to be.
So like when you say like the little guys, it's like a more of like the indie brands or the small.
Yeah, I mean, equated
not
to
commercial.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if the
probably will.
quitters in the room know these terms, but like craft beer,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And, you know, so craft beer is a big thing. We call them boutique cigars. It's the same thing.
Okay.
Small batches.
Small companies using really good tobacco, not $1 million advertising budgets. Very rarely have their own sales staff, so they can have lower overhead and put out a good quality cigar at not a ridiculous price.
Give us your favorite boutique cigar.
Hilariously enough, the one that I don't want to. They're all my friends, so I'm not going to name
Gotcha.
the best of the
Maybe
best.
you give us 5 of them that are like
Sure, and I'll start with the first one that I believe kind of started the whole boutique vibe, and hilariously enough, they're not a sponsor, but their name is TAT, and they're very affectionately known as TAT.
Nice.
Wow.
That's
Right?
fire.
That's
We gotta
not
get
meant-
those. We gotta
Yeah.
get those.
That's
Shout
not-
out to them, whoever they are.
Shout out to TAT,
They
whoever
get-
you guys are.
They
They
should
sponsor
give
you.
us
You
free.
sponsor us.
We want you.
Send us some
No, we
free
want-
cigars.
Yeah,
Guys,
give us a
that's
sample.
amazing.
We'll smoke TAT cigars at the TAT
Yeah.
podcast.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yes, so I mean, that was probably 20, 25 years ago. I forget where they're at on their anniversary. 20 sounds right. Nicaraguan tobacco, primarily being manufactured by Don Pepin, which is now my father's cigar company. They're fantastic. They always were. They were always the staple, like, go-to boutique cigar. And that kind of, like, just snowballed. And then hundreds of, not hundreds, but, 20, 30, like, crazy small batch companies come out. One of my favorites I will talk about because I think a lot about this industry is about the people and not just the product.
Amen.
A lot of people make good product, but the guys at Romacraft, Skip and Mike Rosales are like salt of the earth, best people, give you the shirt off their back. They do a great product. We don't have them in here yet. There's one of the ones that is on my list. They're out of Austin, Texas. They make their own cigars in their factory in Nicaragua, and they're just doing high quality stuff at a $10 to $13-ish price range. Where like if they had a full sales force and a marketing budget behind it, it'd easily be upwards, closer to Padron anniversary type prices.
Nice.
So those are two of my favorites. We could go on and on forever about all of them in there, but eventually we will have more to just. I know you like the selection.
Yeah.
I look at it as somebody with a little bit more knowledge what is in there, what isn't in there, and
Yeah.
go, it's just not there yet. But I can be honest about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, what I love about that, even though you're teaching us, even telling us those things, because again, I'm very much a straight shooter when it comes in. Like, I know my brands. Every once in a while, I'll steer out of that selection. And tonight, I'm smoking a Padron anniversary because that is one of my favorites. And I also love Fuentes.
Now, I'll never talk you out of Padron. It's
Yeah.
the only cigar in the history of cigar making that's counterfeited that isn't Cuban. Like, the Opus X is counterfeited sometimes, but that's counterfeited so much they individually number every single cigar.
Yeah,
Really?
it's got a serial
Really?
number on it. Yeah, they have serial
Yeah.
numbers on them. While on the wrapper, you take there's two wrappers on it. The outside wrapper and then inside wrapper. Inside wrapper has a serial number on it.
News to me. We're Josh and I both are kind of new to smoking cigars. I smoked a lot of crack.
He's a
I
quitter.
smoked a lot. I'm a quitter. That's why. I smoked a lot of cigarettes. Newport 100. Shout out Newport.
Sponsorship.
The 100s too.
When I didn't have any money, it was Mavericks.
Ooh.
Yeah. And then Rollies eventually.
Remember the Dark Horses?
That was like the
Dude,
Dark
you
Horse.
you smoke a pack of those,
Yeah.
dude. The shit you cough up the next morning is wild, dude. I see people smoking those now. I smack them out of their hand like, I'll go buy you some cigarettes. Some fucking things will kill you.
It's like smoking dirt, dude. It's like they just like stuff dirt and like it's like a cigar wrapper too. Have you ever seen them? Dude, it's like a cigar
Sell
wrapper.
them in here. They're
Which
like
ones?
a quarter
Dark
for
Horses.
40 of them.
Dark horses.
There used to be a brand called Clipper that sounds about similar.
Yeah, it was terrible. It was
Smoker's
Fuck.
terrible.
Choice. They're like $2 a pack.
So harsh.
And then when I got sober, I quit smoking cigarettes, and I dipped for a little bit, and then I vaped for a while. And the dumb thing about vaping is like how addictive it is. Do you vape?
I don't, and it's actually I got pulmonary customers that'll tell you that the worst lungs that they've seen in surgery are vapors as opposed to smokers.
Yeah, it's. I guess it is really bad for you. But the
Yeah.
thing about vaping is like you could do it everywhere.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So like I was like, oh, this is better. But
Yeah.
the problem was I'd be at Texas Roadhouse just like blowing clouds. You know what I mean? Like it was just like there was no ends or bounds to like where I vaped or where I didn't vape. And then I would fall asleep with it in my hand like this.
Right? I used to try to cheat the system and fly. I would fly and like slowly learn how to vape on an airplane, like
Yeah,
and
we
like
just go-
holding it in
you
so
go-
long,
yeah, so, yeah,
like
yeah.
holding it in, and my like
Yeah.
going
So there's
red,
no smoke?
blow it out, and I'm like, there's nothing left in my lungs, like, but you know it's not good holding that in.
Yeah, but the dumb thing about it was I would wake up in the middle of the night, and if I couldn't find it,
You'd panic.
I would panic, dude. It was like,
Yeah.
bro, I was talking about a full panic. My heart's racing. I'm like flipping the bed up. I'm waking up the dog, the wife. Like I'm kicking the dog. You know what I mean? Where's my? I know you got my vape. You know, it's like 3 a.m. And I eventually it was just like, because I'm a quitter. I was like, this is dumb. You know what I mean? Like I'm gonna allow this vape to like control me in my sleep, and I would be up for like another hour after that because my heart's
Yeah, you
racing
get
and all
going
this stuff.
again.
I'm wide
Yeah,
awake
yeah.
now. Because I'm searching for this stupid vape, and so I quit vaping. And then I decided that cigars was a better option and cheaper, but guess what?
It's not cheaper.
How did it start for you, Ange? He took you to...
No. Well, it started on the golf course. I would still dip once in a while on the golf course when I played golf. It was just like something to like get my mind off of golfing, because sometimes when you're playing bad, it's good to have something else to think about. And then it was like, oh, I'll have one cigar, you know. And really what it was while I was playing golf, I'd smoke a cigar more and more often. But when we went to Vegas, bro, I was gambling. I was like all geeked up. I wasn't really a big gambler, but you guys know how it is when you're in a casino. The air is pumping. I'm drinking free Red Bulls and I'm smoking cigars, and it was just like, you know. And I came home and I was a cigar smoker after that. So, and it's been every day since then. I feel like, but I do now enjoy a cigar, and I would love to get into like understanding the brands and the flavors and like that kind of stuff, because I'm a when I'm not quitting something, I'm all in. So
Yeah, I know, but like, and it's great to want to learn more, but like, keep it simple, stupid. Like,
Yeah.
if you like it, you like it. Don't overthink it.
no, for sure.
Just like
Shout
golf,
out
like,
Queen Bee.
Yeah,
Shout out Queen Bee.
yeah,
Shout out Tat.
yeah. Shout out Tat. Yeah, no, Tat. If you hear us, yeah, we want your cigars. No, I do. I think I'm a Duro guy. The darker, the better. I think for me now at this point, and it was sweet to begin with. And
Best time I've ever seen. So not to interrupt, but Josh smoked a dark cigar. Bro.
Was that the one I smoked that had me fucked up?
Placencia T52.
Man.
real estate, but
Yeah. And
That
he's-
shit is wild. I was at
laid on
home
the
in the
couch.
fetal position. My wife's fucking patting my back. Like, I thought that shit was what fuck. That's what you're smoking, right, dude? I'll kick that thing out of your mouth, dude. Oh
no,
my
I'm
god.
smoking a Queen Bee too.
Oh, okay. Shit, that thing had me fucked up. I ain't never felt like that in my whole life. Matter of fact, she might have dropped me. It was so wild. I'm like,
She was like
fucked up.
pissing this cup.
Bro.
Yeah.
Whew.
Yeah, we always got a cup on hand. Just anybody, ever wonder, we just piss in this cup real quick.
Yeah.
So let's kind of get into some of the questions that I had. I told Chris I was going to send him questions for 3 weeks, and I never did. So.
No, he heard like literally 30 minutes ago. He said, "Oh, these are the questions. Thanks for prepping me."
Yeah, and I think we'll just kind of like go around and we'll ask the questions, and then people can kind of chime in as we need to, and not try to keep it too serious as far as like the functioning of it goes, but lighthearted. So let's start with Chris? We'll start with you actually. What's something that you pretend to care about, but you really don't?
cigars.
I mean that
That would make sense.
Yeah, it would make sense.
Yeah.
That's what you do. It's like a cook. You know what I mean? Like I want to go and cook.
No, that's mostly joking.
Yeah.
But a funny offshoot on that is, oh man, what a great job. You smoke cigars. Like, what are the best cigars? You mean smoke cigars? Man, my job sucks. I got to smoke all the crappy cigars. I got to smoke all the new samples, all the new stuff that comes out. And you can only smoke so many cigars in a day.
Yeah.
And if I don't believe in the cigar, I'm not going to put it on our shelves. So I smoke a lot of crappy cigars.
How often do you when it's like a rep and they give you cigars and you don't like it, but it's like maybe it's a good deal or whatever, but you kind of like gas them up and tell them it's better than it is?
If I might tell them it's better, it doesn't mean I'm going to order it. Very, very rarely do I ever order something that I don't like or believe in. Occasionally, you got to do favors for people who have something else that you want that you can't have unless you do them a favor. So, I forget what the question was. Oh, golf. Golf's probably the real answer. I don't care about golf. I golf 50 to 100 times a year, and I don't care. It's just something to do in Toledo when you're not sweating or freezing.
Or doing that while you're playing golf?
Yeah,
Yeah.
all
Yeah.
of it. Golf was a great answer for me.
Yeah,
on
so,
that.
so you like to play golf, but you don't want to talk about playing golf?
Yeah. Once I'm done, I'm done.
Yeah, fair.
But you should stay. I don't remember. So
Fair. Josh?
What's the question again?
Yeah. What do
you
you?
didn't get them either.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. What do you pretend to care about, but you don't really care about?
I was gonna say golf originally. You said the question, sir. That was my response was golf because you guys all golf.
Yeah.
A lot of you guys golf. And
Fuck golf.
Exactly. Like I don't care about it
That shit's
whatsoever.
stupid.
Like, at the
As
end
it's
of
on
the
the
day.
TV.
And you got to like be interested. And he was like, "Oh yeah, golf." But we do quite a few charity golf outings through the year to help the community, and I do enjoy going. But I literally talk the whole time I golf. I just swing the clubs. I always have a speaker on in the golf cart, playing music, smoking way too many cigars on the golf course. I think I've smoked 4 or 5 between 18 holes one time just because I was so annoyed. I'm just like, yeah, okay, cool. Like, just give me another cigar, get these people to stop talking to me, and act interested as much as possible.
On a day-to-day, though, that's like, what is something that, like, that you pretend to care about but don't? Like, obviously, like, golf's a trending topic, and because people are getting to be a bigger sport, but, like, your day-to-day, like, what are some things that, like, it's like you just don't care, but people just always bring to you?
Go ahead, run it.
Yeah.
Sometimes, people bring me their problems, and I don't give a shit.
Yeah.
They just like want to call and complain, and it's like we all have problems, and they want to continue on. Like, we're the easy button sometimes, and it's like, what is it? And I'm like, well, did you think about what to do? Because all you're doing is bringing me your problems, and I really don't give a shit. I just don't.
Yeah. Bro, I think it's the field that we're in, we work in the recovery field, and we've been around for a while, and we're kind of like...
yeah, but we're not fucking therapists. Like, the bombs that get dropped on us are just like, what?
Yeah, but that they assume that we just, like, you're, like, because you work in, like, treatment, like, that you're a therapist, and, like, I've never known Josh to run a group, maybe early on, but, like, he hasn't...
Did you run a group?
Yeah, early on.
Early on, yeah, but it's probably been 9 years, so they're like, they come up to him, and it's like, what's a good group topic, He's like, I don't know, leave me the fuck alone.
Go talk to TJ.
Yeah.
Go find TJ. Yeah. That's a clinical question. Go find the clinical director, clinical manager.
Shout out Jesse.
Yeah, shout out to Jesse for sure. Shout out to Olivia. It's definitely not just dealing with people sometimes, man. Because I think sometimes people think we're all the easy button. And I'm sure just in day-to-day, not even in our business, but everybody's in business in general, I think our society's come very, very, they want everybody to give them the answer and not think for themselves anymore, and it's really, really hard because the business, you deal with people all day long. I'm sure he even gets it here at the store. It's like...
I want to quit people.
It's like, see, so it's like sometimes you're just like, bro. And I know why at the office now, why TJ locked himself in a corridor, and only Josh and I, a couple people have keys to get back there, because my office is on the floor, and Josh's is way back in the dungeon corner. But I'm on the floor, and I'll, like, they see my door open, they're coming in there. For the most random questions that have nothing to do with me.
I told you.
Yeah, like nothing to do with me at all. I'm like mid-email, mid-screen, like in depth of doing something, and they'll come up and be like, hey, do you know where the mop is?
Yeah,
do you know where the mop is? And I'm like, wherever the map closet's at. I'm like, do you know where that's at? And I'm like, no. Like,
he's the guy just owned the building.
Just like, I don't know where the mop closet's at. I'm sorry. But it's still funny. I look at it, I laugh. I'm like, no, but we can go find it. And then I'll go look with them and find it, and then I'll know too. But little stuff like that sometimes. Just like society itself. It's like sometimes you just got to think. Think for yourself a little bit.
Do you have to, like, do you become a clinical therapist here sometimes, I feel like?
Yeah, totally, 100%. And not for nothing, that's what my degree is in. So, like, I have a couple degrees in biological psychology and cognitive science. And, like, so it's interesting to me. I enjoy the social experiment. And my other degree is anthropology, so I enjoy, like, literally the social experiment. But, yeah, they come to us all the time, and we're not bartenders, and we're not getting tipped for the most part.
I tipped.
You tip my girls and guys, but like nobody tips me ever, and they shouldn't. But like, it's like being a bartender. Like people come in after a crappy day or a good day. I mean, it's both, and they want a cigar and they want to tell you about their problems. And sometimes I'm just like, bro, read the room. Like I'm busy. Like,
you got a pretty good, like, standoffish face. I kind of...
For sure.
I know when I come in.
I'm never
like,
coming to you to
Chris
tell. I
in.
didn't even know that was an option. They're fucking not reading the room at all. I agree with that
at all.
100%.
My wife says I have subtitles on my face.
Yeah,
I suffer from the same disease, though. People look at me
for sure.
it's like, don't talk to him.
I can come in here sometimes, and Chris is, like, cheery, and things are good, and the other days I can tell when it's been a long day for him, so I leave him alone for the most part, but I always give him a little jug once in a while.
It's not Augusta.
Yeah. Listen. You can always get me going, but like, that's just the ADD in me going like, all right, well, if I talk to this guy, then I don't have to do the work. So
for sure. Yeah, no.
I think sometimes too, people, when you're in a situation like we're at when we're here, and they'll overhear us talking. They want to chime in on conversations with us. It's like, we didn't open the door for you to chime in our conversation. Like, where did you think that?
It sucks because of our relation. Like, we're a relationship with guys, our relationship with him, and like we're so in our own zone there typically. And like they'll be showing somebody the room or like whatever, and then we have to like stop what we're doing. And I'm sure they can hear us coming down the hall, but out of respect, we want to pretend like, yeah, it's great back here. But like we're probably so fucking annoying. But yeah, like we'll be back here like we've had some very random conversations, but also like people. I feel like there has been a few good things that come out of
Absolutely.
that. Like people have commented or listened to our wildness, and like we've started to form some relationships based off
Just
of that.
being back here.
Yeah.
With a couple
just
business-
talking, and other guys sitting in that chair right there listening and then asking questions.
Yep.
Yeah, the guy last night, he was like, he's in like some type of like healthcare analysis, something or another, and I was like trying to understand what it was, but it was way too smart for me. I don't have any degrees. I smoked a lot of crack, so
You're a quitter.
I'm a quitter for sure. I get rotted in my brain, but
I mean, that's your first merch right there. Is shirts that just say quitters.
quitters. No, I love that.
Tat.
We're gonna use that. Like he's
Chris,
not a
shout out to
quitter.
Chris for this
Shout
shirt.
out to Chris. Yeah.
Josh designed that shirt, please.
Done.
Yeah.
Quitters.
Yeah, quitters. Yeah, and then we should get quitters, and then the guest person
Not
a quitter.
quitter.
Yeah. I love that. That's
Yeah.
gonna be for sure. I love that for sure. So thank you for that little gem. Man.
All your guests should not be quitters.
Yeah. Well,
Yes.
yeah. We could do that.
Most of them right now that are lined up are not quitters.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. Back to another quitter. And so, Josh, what is something that you pretend to care about but don't?
You?
I knew that was coming. If I could have predicted anything.
I'm a weird motherfucker, man.
Oh,
like,
yeah, we know.
I know. I figured there's nothing. He cares about everything. That's what.
I kind of back to his answer, cigars. Like, I guess that's kind of one thing. I don't really pretend like I care about them, but I come here for the experience. I like where I'm spending my money. I like where my money's going. For us, this is like our sweet spot. But like, I really don't thoroughly enjoy smoking cigars like you 2 to 3 are. I don't know about you, but you guys smoke them on the weekends and buy them and take them home. So I really don't care about them. And my kids, every single time, I should try the cologne I do use. They have mouthwash and mints in here, and also a wide variety of cologne that I just realized today that I don't use. But I'll come home and my kids will be like, "We love you, Daddy. You fucking stink. You're a piece of shit. You've been smoking cigars." I'm like, oh man, every time. I want to get some form of like cigar jacket, or I was thinking like the 3M suit, like if you're
Tyvek
spraying
suit.
Tyvek suit, so that, dude, when I bought the Genesis from him, or not bought it from him, but when I took it over, it fucking stunk like cigars so bad. Like I hate the way I smell afterwards. So the answer for me is cigars. I enjoy it. I don't like dislike. I enjoy everything that comes with it, but it's not like I smoke this one or that one. Like I found this one that I like, and that's why I stick with it. It's just not something that I really care about. But I care about like the art of it and this part of it. Does that make sense? Like Padron, none of that stuff interests me.
For drone.
None of that.
Fuente.
Our Father. I do like the Our Fathers. You gave
My
us the
Father.
same.
My
Father. Yeah.
Back to if he doesn't care, has the wrong name. The funny thing is I've been sitting here thinking about like what I pretend to care about but I don't care about, and that's a tough question for me. I feel like I'm being serious.
We're all pretty genuine people.
Yeah.
I
You had
think
the
that's
questions first.
Exactly. He
He
thought of
wrote
them.
the question.
Yeah, I know, but I just was like I wrote them down and I was like thinking about what it would be like a good topic of conversation for you guys. I wasn't really thinking about like what I would be saying.
Loaded.
Yeah, and I think that
Well,
like
at least you're not selfish.
yeah, I think that a topic that I don't care about and pretend to care about is politics. I think politics sometimes is like for me is like I pretend to know more than I do just so I can kind of engage in the conversation because I like to be in conversation, but I really don't.
Who
care.
the fuck is talking to you about politics? That'd be the dumbest
family,
motherfucking
like,
thing ever.
Family,
What?
Yeah, the family.
Bro.
Your
was,
family?
My family's like pretty pro-Trump, or, you know.
And they think you fucking know about it? What?
I don't even.
Yeah, well, I mean,
I
Trump's-
couldn't
hey,
even
what-
get you to look at Biden earlier in his weird fucking face he was
yeah.
making. Like,
Well, I think because it's like I think now, like, because of I guess the way that I'm seen, and by the most of the people that care about me or I care about, they like see that I have like a conversational mindset, and so like that's a topic of conversation for some of the people that are a little bit older, and so like it has been brought up, and then I think to myself like, what would I be if I was a person who cared about politics? And then
Right.
I'd say I don't care. You know, it's like for me, I feel like it's like I don't think it matters one way or the other. I think there's pluses and minuses to anything when whoever gets in office, and like they say it's going to be one thing and then it's another, and like all I
Yeah.
really care about is like cheap gas and no more taxes. You know, but I don't think that's going to happen either way. So, you know, so I don't want to.
I'm gonna go back to nobody ain't talking about politics in the
Yeah.
office. I've never.
Yeah. So, but I don't want to get stuck on politics at all. So, in case anybody's passionate about politics in here.
don't fucking talk to TJ about politics. I would assume you know nothing.
Yeah. Well, that's because you know me. So,
Democrat, Republican. He's like, what's that?
yeah.
That a cigar?
No, I feel like if any of them, I'm probably a liberal, right? Is that right? Where it's like you kind of
How
just
the
like.
fuck do we know if it's right?
Yeah.
What are you going
It's
for?
It's a liberal, like kind of like whatever.
No.
No, what is it? what's a liberal?
What's a liberal? I mean, it's usually
Yeah.
it's a left-leaning Democrat is referred to as being liberal.
Yeah. So basically, how would you describe a liberal?
I don't know if you want this on your podcast.
Sure. Why not? No, I don't. Yeah, don't. I mean,
No,
just,
I mean you're kind of down the middle. You're
yeah, that's what I mean. It's like
but
whatever.
that's not liberal.
Yeah, no,
It sounds nice, but no.
no. Yeah, okay, so there's
Very left-leaning, very pro-social issues versus fiscal issues type thing. Like,
that's why.
very,
I don't,
very,
that's
very
why I don't do
democratic.
politics. I'm already lost. So
yeah, very, very democratic.
yeah,
You're just
okay.
TJ.
I am TJ.
You're just TJ.
I am TJ. Yeah.
Vote TJ.
Vote
You-
TJ.
Just, you go and just write your name in every time.
Yeah, you're Swiss. And
Yeah, Swiss.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I feel like that's what I think if I would be something, I'd be like Swiss.
I stole that from Bill Maher from about 20 years ago. He's always like, I'm Swiss. I don't
Swiss
care either
Army
way.
knife.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Swiss are neutral on almost everything.
I think this next question we'll go to Dressel. We'll go to him first. And who was your worst kiss ever?
This is such, he said this to us earlier. Like I can remember. No offense to say this out loud, but I probably kissed a lot of women in my day, and unfortunately,
Before we were quitters.
exactly. And most of them I probably don't remember.
Yeah.
As a quitter.
You don't have like a time where it's like somebody just like licked your nose almost, or like just like.
No, man. I was a messy drunk from like high school. Like I went to Perrysburg. Unfortunately,
You were the worst kisser.
I was probably the worst kisser because I was a sloppy. Like by my senior year, like I partied heavily hard drinking with my friends at school. Like I was one of those kids that had a connection to get booze, or the kids I went to high school with had booze. And when I went to high school at Perrysburg, most of their parents weren't around. Like they just like have houses, these big houses, and they're empty, and they'd have house parties all the time, and they're liquor
Oh,
cabinets.
liquor
So where'd you-
cabinets.
where'd
I
you
was
grow
just
up?
going to say that.
I grew up in the South End where I got a lot of trouble.
Shout out Southside.
Yeah, Southside. I went to Harvard Elementary School first.
Harvard.
Harvard. On the
Didn't get
trail.
to college.
Didn't get to college. Definitely not the college Harvard. Shout out to Josh's wife. I went to elementary school with her. In fact, why not? Jessica.
Love you, baby.
Love her. She's an amazing person. Anyways, then I went to Burndale, and then I got a safe school act.
You did?
Yeah, I got a safe school act. I got kicked out of Burndale. You were a year above me. You were in 8th grade, and I was in 7th.
What is that? What's a safe school act? That's some
You
Ohio,
get-
that's
when
some
you
Ohio
get-
shit.
when you get-
How can I? No, that can't be right.
we were a
I'm
year apart.
45.
I failed the 3rd grade,
Okay.
so you're a year older than me. Yeah, 3rd grade. Quitter.
So we went to Burndale together?
Yeah, you would have been a year older than me.
That's like finger painting, right?
I went from 8th grade. I went from McCord to Burndale. It was a big change for me. And Burndale was like in the ground. It was built in. It's weird to like
In the ground, underground.
Yes, it was, wasn't it?
Yes,
It was
it was.
built for like energy. It's gone now for energy reasons. It was like a fucking dungeon. But I went from
I wish we
McCord
could
right
look that
here.
up right now. And wish we had the thing we
It's-
talked
it's
about
true.
earlier to look it up. If it's a
It's-
school underground, it was like
Yeah, that's what it
subway
was. That's what it was. I went from McCord to Burndale, and it was a huge shock for me. But yeah,
Safe school acts when you get in a fight, a big fight in school, and they expel you. You have to go to court though.
You got into what?
Yeah.
What? With who?
You don't
Let's
think
talk
he was
about
angry
that.
when he was little?
Oh fuck! I can't even imagine 7th grade Dressel getting it in. But tell us about that.
It was wild. I'll just say that. I got in trouble.
Well, how? What? You're like, oh, I just got in a safe. Like
I just killed somebody.
Yeah,
but
it was just- yeah, it was
we'll
like-
talk about that another time.
Yeah, it was like a federal indictment. He's like, I got kicked out of school from some law they passed specifically to me. Like, what?
So there's a big fight in school. I ended up taking a rock and hitting somebody in the head with it.
Sheesh.
Yeah, so
Did you, like, lop
Multiple
off an
people,
ears?
one-on-one fight.
one
or-
on one, but it was a big episode of a bunch of people. It was pretty nasty out by the bus stop, and I got in trouble. Then I threw the rock at the bus and busted a window
We
out of
rode
the bus.
fucking Tarda buses too. Like it was weird.
Right, wild,
I
bro.
had a bunch of.
was wild.
Burnout was
Woodward was
rough,
like that,
dude.
Yeah, it was
Tarda
wild.
bus,
Like you
yeah.
just either fought or you got beat up.
Dude, I remember from Burndale, our bus driver, his name was Mr. Cooper. He would always run the Tarda bus rodeos, and he had like all his patches and worst thing. I loved him. He would take us to Nettie's every Friday. But when the fights would happen, they would start on the bus, and he'd park, and then they would get off, and he would sit there and watch the fight. We would all just watch, and then he'd be like, "All right,
Shout out
let's
Mr.
go,
Cooper.
dude. Let's go to Nettie's." Like it was like all the time. That's wild. I forgot about that. And the thing that sucked too about Tarda was like, if Tarda was running, you were going to school, so it could be a fucking blizzard.
Yeah.
And your ass they had school. Nowadays, like my kids go to Christ the King and they cancel because they're talking about snow. It doesn't even have to snow. It's a big difference.
Big time.
The life hack for me, when I figured out, was that when I was at Woodward, was like if you didn't have a bus pass, you couldn't get on. So I wouldn't go to school. And my mom like, why did you go to school today? Like, I lost my bus pass. Yeah, they wouldn't let me on.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
So I was the worst kisser.
Yeah, you were the worst kid. Long story short, it was me. Yeah. Josh, what about you?
Probably me too. I won't say kissing, but I know that, like, first of all, I was a very late bloomer. We can't remember the Christian group that was popular in the 90s that, like, people went to. We haven't researched it. I wish we could look it up now, but there was, like, a popular Christian group that you went to after school, and I was part of that, and I really was trying to save myself for
Boy
marriage.
Scouts?
No. Not that traumatic. But so I really like committed myself and was trying to make it to marriage. But once I did like get into that, another thing, I was always in monogamous relationships. I cheated one time, and then the girl Amanda Sowers beat up Brittany Harshman in school. But I cheated one time, so I actually haven't kissed that many people, to be honest, because me and Jess are married. We went to high school prom together. But I do remember, like, this chick thought that I was experienced, and she, like, fucking bit my neck and that shit. I literally wanted to punch her. Like, she thought I was into fucking, like, pain and shit, and I wasn't. Like, I was so basic at the time, and she, like, bit my neck, and I, like, pushed her away, but that was the worst for me. Yeah, not my thing.
Vanilla gorilla over here.
Vanilla gorilla.
The
for
vanilla
sure.
gorilla.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think about the question. I like the question because I specifically remember this girl, Stephanie. I forget her last name, but
Probably a good idea not to steal.
yeah.
Let's probably leave last names
And it
out
was
of
like, you guys never had like one of those kissers that was like, they would just like,
Yeah.
they would just like,
Yeah.
real quick, and it felt like they were just like trying to lick my teeth.
Yeah.
You know. And so like I just remember like trying to like kiss, like she was, I thought she was like the most beautiful girl ever. You know, I was like 12 years old or whatever, and she was just like trying to lick my teeth. You know, and it was just like so weird to me. And so when I started kissing at that age, like I was just make sure that I wouldn't lick anybody's teeth. You know, it was like a thing. Like, what I'm not gonna do. Yeah, like like a snake.
Slithery little girl.
Yeah. What about you, Chris?
I don't know if I have an answer, but only because it's been about the better part of 25 years since I've kissed anybody but my wife. So it's been a long time. We were high school sweethearts type thing, kind of. She was dating my best friend. I won.
There you go. Hey, shout out to our best friend.
Yeah, he came.
He wasn't a quitter still.
No,
you know,
he
back
came
then.
to the wedding. Yeah, I mean, 25 years. I mean, sounds
How old
like
are you?
41.
41. Okay. Wow. 16.
So 16-ish, 16, and better part of 20 is probably
Damn,
24
good for
years.
you.
She's
Good for you, exactly, man.
That's a good one.
So
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure there were plenty of awful ones in grade school, but like that's a long time ago. And I
Right,
don't
that's what I'm
remember
saying,
them.
like-
Did you ever do the 1, 2, 3, go? Like my first couple kisses, it was like we talked about it, and it was like 1, 2, 3, go. No.
The quick pack.
Good.
Yeah,
Show us how it went.
Oh no, I don't want to demonstrate. I don't want to
Turn your head left or right.
I want to give away all my secrets.
The lizard tongue.
The lizard tongue.
Josh was a biter on the neck.
Yeah.
Bitch, I remember almost punching her like, what the fuck? And then did any of you guys like the biting and rough stuff?
Bro, you don't want to ask me, man.
Yeah.
Never mind.
Yeah, you don't
Different
ask me.
episode.
Yeah, for sure. I don't.
Sheesh.
Stations.
Yeah. All right. The next question I have is this one's gonna be like the question that like nobody really likes to answer.
Oh fuck.
And which is, what's the truth about yourself that you wish wasn't true? And like it's one of those like deeper questions I think that kind of like provoke like intriguing conversations because like sure we can sit here and laugh and we can talk about cigars, we can talk about like all these things, but like the character growth is an important thing for us. I know as a group, TAT, and I'm sure it is for Chris too, and like. Because, like, especially being married for 25 years, I think there's been a lot of times in your process where you're like, you really.
Well, I mean, like, hold on. I wasn't married in high school.
Okay, well, but with a woman for 25 years, that there's been a lot of times when you've had those tough conversations, you really had to take a look at yourself and, like, if you really cared about her, you made a decision to change something or whatever that might look like. And so, and so I think we'll start with, Elchert. What is something that is true about you that you wish wasn't true?
That's a good question. I wish, to go back to a previous question, I wish I didn't care so fucking much about so many things and so many people. One of my best qualities is my loyalty and that I'll do so much for so many people, but I also end up doing so much for people that have fucked me, will fuck me, take advantage of me, wouldn't piss on me if I was on fire.
Wouldn't piss on you.
Huh?
They wouldn't piss on you.
Yeah, I don't like the rough stuff. I thought I already said that.
You don't like golden showers.
So I think
Sometimes you pay
I-
extra for that.
Like I can see it in Dressel the most. When he's frustrated and like fuck this, and I wish, and I'm trying to be more like that and more vocal, and maybe have, like we talked about with Chris, the face that's unapproachable. But I just genuinely love people and want the best
To
for
work
them.
on this unapproachable face I didn't know that I had.
TJ said it.
I mean,
know my feelings are hurt. I'm very sensitive.
Yeah.
Can I have that lighter when you're done?
Yes. Seems
But
broken.
I care way too much about people, and I want people to be successful. And another thing is, like, I can see the best in the worst person, and that can be great. I mean, you're a big piece of shit, and look how far our relationship has came. You know what I mean?
Facts.
But the 99 other people that I invested energy into that had no fucking real shot, and people told me that, it just takes bandwidth away from my family. And I remember one time, a long time ago, when I was helping somebody get food, and I was talking to my wife on the phone, and she's like, we don't have any food. And I was like, damn, I suck. Like, I'm not with her. She doesn't have food, and I'm spending our money buying somebody else food. Like, make that fucking make sense. So I'm trying to learn to, like, distance myself. And one thing that I've got better at is, like, having a smaller circle and focusing and trying to make it quality over quantity, if that makes sense.
Big time.
And, like, I don't engage with a lot of, if it's directly, I have to, but like, dude, I don't read any Facebook messages anymore. And like, people throw shots out there and I try not to respond. Like, I just trying to keep my circle smaller so that I can give the people that I care about what they deserve rather than trying to give fucking everybody a little bit of me. This doesn't make sense. I hate that and I don't hate it about myself. Like I said, it's a blessing and a curse, but it has to change, or my family life will continue to suffer. Can I see the lighter?
What about you, Dressel?
The biggest thing I hate about myself is something I did. It was probably the most traumatic thing I've done in my entire life was overdose on my grandma's bathtub.
I knew that one.
Yeah, that was by far. I know it's part of my story. I know it's part of my journey. I know it's part of what I've been through to get where I'm at today. But by far, it was by the most painful thing I've ever experienced because when they finally Narcan me, brought me to, and like I woke up and I was in the bathroom tub and I can still see this picture of my grandma's face today in my brain, like I scarred her, how bad it was to be there and through that situation and like knowing that I hurt her that much. And like she was like the only person I had left at that time after my active addiction. That
She
allowed me
never gave
around,
up on you.
Never
She was
gave up
always
on me.
there.
Like, she was always there. She'd always feed me. And that like by far was like still, and by the grace of God, she's still alive and she's been able to see me in sobriety now, like, and how much I've changed since then, like, and now being a dad, and like, we visit her on Sundays, so I'll see her this Sunday with my daughter. We'll go over there and see her, and like, just to be able to be there for her and like experiences, and I've been able to make a lot of financial amends to her. She was that person I could always get money out of too, and like, and she was on such a fixed income. It's like Josh's story, like, my grandma probably didn't have food, but I was borrowing $20 from her. Like shit like that, I look back and like I've been able to make a lot of financial amends to her through that, and you know, make up to it. But at the end of the day, I know what I did to her, like, and I know what trauma I caused somebody that loved me so much, and that was like, that was that one thing. Like it eats my soul sometimes, and I'll think about it. And, like that's why I'm so, like you guys especially know like how close I am to her, and like how much it like hits me, and like when things happen. She's had some health scares, and she's gonna be 90 this year, and like. Look at her now, and like I'm really like I got to process that emotion. I talked to Josh and TJ a lot about that. Like the whole thing with her, I know that we all get we have an expiration date. Unfortunately, we all do. We don't get to tell when and why when it comes, but having good quality life now, like making sure that I do have quality time with her. I check on her weekly, and I call her, and if she needs anything, I jump and do whatever she needs me to do. And it's one of those things. It's hard because like she was my rock, man, for so many years. Like I grew up in her neighborhood. Like that was my grandma, that's Nana. Like she's just an amazing person. I know that I definitely caused a lot of trauma in her doing that. And
I'm sure she's super proud now. And have you like had? So I remember thinking at one point, and my grandfather's my thing too. So I'll jump into mine real quick. And my grandfather is like he was such a really good man. You know what I mean? Like I met a lot of people. He was much like me, where he's like very personable everywhere I go.
I thought you said he was a good man.
Yeah, so he's just a good man. That's what I mean.
Oh, but he was like you?
Yeah. I didn't catch it. That was good.
That was good, Josh.
Yeah. But like everywhere he goes, he made friends. You know what I mean? And like much like I do, and I talk to people.
That doesn't make him good.
And
It makes him friendly.
So
Tell me how he was good.
Yeah. Nobody had a bad thing to say about him. You know what I mean?
Okay.
And like he didn't cuss in front of women. He was Sicilian.
Damn.
He grew up Southside Chicago in the 30s. And
Damn.
Like, and so he's,
Are we related?
Yeah, we might be.
Yeah.
And so like he came over on the boat, the whole deal, and I remember thinking I thought I knew my grandfather, and he was getting older too, and I had gotten sober, and he didn't talk to me for a lot of years because like the drugs to the Sicilians is like it's a no bueno type of thing, and so or what's the Italian word for that?
Bene.
Huh?
Bene.
Belly.
Bene.
Belly.
With an N.
Bene.
Yeah.
Bene. Benny and the Jets.
Chris, are you full-blood Italian?
No, my father ruined the bloodline.
Your father ruined the bloodline?
Yeah. We associate as such, but he's a big European mix type mutt. So
There you go. Okay.
but my mother's all Italian.
Okay. Yeah. My mom's like half, but there's a lot of manners, and it's just how he was. Takes his hat off at the dinner table, and we walks into a house, and all of those things, And but it was. I remember thinking like, the reason I'm saying this is that there was a time where I was like, do I really know my grandfather?
But
what I mean?
What made you think like you're using? What makes you think? Do I really know my grandfather?
I wasn't using. I had gotten sober. At the
Okay.
time. That's what I mean.
Okay.
I'd gotten sober, and I thought, I was thinking to myself because my grandmother had passed. And she we had a lot of good conversations because I lived with them for a short period of time throughout my youth. I bounced back and forth. And between 8th and 9th grade, I changed schools like 10 times because I was just in a lot of trouble. My parents got divorced, and hence the rehab stuff and all that. But and so we would have morning conversations, and she told me all about her childhood and her family was like the Butcher Brothers, there was a book about them and the Irish mob, and she grew up in Chicago too, and she was like from the German part of Chicago. My grandfather was part of the Sicilian, and like that's how they met. But I was thinking to myself, like, I didn't really know my grandfather, and so like, have you had that, like, the conversation of like, how'd you meet Mimi? Like, what was it like growing up? And like all of those questions that I didn't know, I like sat him down and had those conversations, which I'm really glad that I did before he passed. And have you done that with her?
It's wild how much that, like, I've been able to experience, like, the heritage of our family, of how they all, like, where they grew up at, my mom grew up at. There's some subjects that I don't dig too much with them because it's kind of sensitive, because my grandfather was a raging alcoholic, and he put my mom and their family through a lot of abuse. I wouldn't know, it was necessarily physical, but it was more mental abuse, and you could see the trauma that was put in that family, and it's caused my mom. I say my mom, I love my mom, shout out to Julie, Grandma Julie. But she had a bad picker. Like, I don't know my biological father. My mom's been married 3 times. Like, I see the situations like that. My grandma was remarried. You could tell how it weighed on I have 1 aunt, 2 uncles, how much it weighed on all of them. Yeah. By the grace of God, like, they turned out to be really good people. Like, especially my Uncle Eddie, I love him to death. Like, him and I are really close. And he's a wonderful father. And like, he's like, I look up to him because how much of a good dad he is. He wasn't raised with a good dad, and I think that's breaking that generational curse. Like,
you are fucking too. You're the best dad, dude. I love that about you. Like, that's my number one thing about you. Like, seeing with your daughter is like, it lights me up how it lights you up, like, bro. And maybe that's you not knowing your dad is what makes you want her to know you so well.
Yeah,
for sure. He's a really good dad. He talks about his daughter a lot. It's a topic of conversation, and watching you light up when she calls.
God, I love it.
And, it was like a thing that really kind of cemented our relationship, honestly. And that's a story for another day too. But
that's like,
yeah. So, but the thing that I think that I wish was not true, that is true, is I had a lot of moments in my life that I wish that weren't true. You know what I mean?
That like you're ashamed of?
For sure, yeah, lots of them, and I have a lot of rock bottom moments, or whatever you call them, but a thing that like rings true with me was I was 17. I was heavily into cocaine at this time, and we were doing a lot of break-ins, and so I ended up getting in trouble for breaking into houses, and we did a lot of them, and so I got in trouble for the break-ins, and I got a DUI. I got really drunk. I drank a fifth of Morgan, and then that's what last thing I remember. And then I stole my stepdad's. He had this Lincoln Town Car. Boat. The big white blue with the blue canvas. You know what I'm talking about? With the ashtrays in the back. You know?
Yeah.
And
they don't make them like that no more.
No cars have ashtrays in them.
Yeah.
None.
Yeah. And so I ended up getting a DUI in the car, and it's funny. My stepdad at the time, his brother was deputy chief of police of Toledo, and so when I got in trouble, I'm like, this guy, he's gonna get you. I'm not gonna say his name, but my uncle's gonna get you, and so I could see they got worried. But from what I hear is that when they called him, he was like, lock his ass up. He didn't care. He didn't care.
No.
But so I went to jail I had to go to the jail for the DUI, and I was in the jumpsuit, and I had never been to jail. Like, I had been down to at the time it was like CSI.
Yeah, CSI, Child Study Institute.
And they would put you in the tank, but your parents had to come get you.
Yep.
In Toledo?
In Toledo. Yeah. And
my stepdad was probably your probation officer.
I never finished probation or went, but that's a different. So, a couple times I went out to the tank, and they would call my mom, and she's like, "I'm not coming to get him, and if you don't come get him, we're gonna arrest you." And so that's how they treated it. And so, so I was in jail. I was in the jumpsuit, and I remember being like scared there. But when I was in the
Lucas County, we're talking Lucas County.
No, I was a teen, so I was at CSI, but I wasn't going into court. And so I came into court, and I was wearing the orange jumpsuit, and I had the handcuffs on, and I assumed that my whole family, like my mom and my dad, would be there. When I got out, when I was walking into court. But when I came out, my grandfather was there, and he lived up in Livonia, Michigan, and we're down in Toledo, and you know, and he owned a business and he was a busy guy, you know, and he was at court. And when I walked out, I remember like the look of disgust on his face. And it was like,
Scars you.
man, it was like, he didn't say a word, you know,
Doesn't have to.
and it was just like this look of like, I cannot believe that you're my grandson, you know, man, dude, that's still heavy to me, you know, and it was like, that was like one of the moments where it's like, you know, what am I doing? But obviously it still took a long time for me to become a quitter, but it was like one of those defining moments for me. And you know, my grandfather just recently passed actually, and he was 94, and he was just full of life. He didn't smoke cigarettes, he didn't drink, you know, he quit eating meat when he was like 70. You know, he was 94. He still had a job. He golfed 4 days a week. He worked 3 days a week. He still drove his car. Like, he was still very much on top of things. He got a girlfriend when he was like 92.
Good for him.
And you know, he was just living his best life down in the villages playing golf. And he had a golf
He
cart.
had more than one girlfriend. By the way.
Yeah.
If you've been to
the red
villages.
lights, if you know, yeah. And he had flames on the side of his golf cart. You know
He
what I
definitely
mean?
had more than one girlfriend.
Yeah, he was killing it. You know, you know. But when I had gotten my 5 years, he had fell and he was in the hospital, and my wife, she's amazing, and she's dealt with the death a lot because she worked for hospice for a long time. And shout out to my wife.
We love you, Stacia.
She's amazing, and but she knows that she's dealt with it a lot. And so when I had this conversation, she was thoughtful enough to have my family record the conversation with him, and he said to me, he said to me, he was like, you know, I'm super proud of you, and I was like, I just want you to get better, you know, Papa. I call him Papa, and I was like, I just want to come down. I want to beat you in golf, because I never got a chance to beat him in golf because he was a good golfer. Mind you, 2 weeks prior to this, like, he shot 76 at a championship course down in the villages at 94 years old. You know what I mean? Like, he was a player. And then I just wanted to beat him one time, you know. And I was like, you just need to get better so we can play golf. And I said, I love you very much. And then he said, I'll never forget it. He said, you can't possibly love me as much as I love you.
True.
And Stacia had him. You
I
have
that
this on
recording.
film.
I have that recording.
Shout out to her. She's good at capture. Oof.
Yeah.
Oof.
And now I try to embody that, like, for everybody around me. You know, like, I try to love people more than you know they love me, and it was a statement, but it's something that I hold really dear, and not to get too dark, but you know, it was a moment that, like, I'm really glad that I've captured. So, what about you, Chris?
First off, I hope my father watches this and listens to all of these stories, because the worst thing I ever did growing up was get my tongue pierced.
Yeah.
Pretty good guy.
Yeah.
He thought it-
And also, shout out, Chris is not a quitter. Remember that. He's not a quitter.
Yeah.
He thought it was the worst thing in the world. I was at military school by choice playing hockey, and we went and got our tongues pierced when we were in Chicago on a field trip one time. And we got caught eventually. Your tongue pierced, like in military school, they're going to catch you. And he called me and just told me how disappointed he was. And I was like, it's not permanent, but whatever. Look, I didn't do this stuff. The thing that I dislike about myself is probably very similar to yours, is the whole caring too much about everything. I can't say no.
Same.
I can't say no. And it's kind of twofold. Like, I do have a little bit of, my wife says I have a fear of missing out, which is probably true, but also I just can't say no. It doesn't matter if a homeless guy walks up on the street and says, hey, whatever, I'm hungry, like, I'll empty my
Same, I
wallet.
feel that.
Or can you donate to our charity even though you've donated to 20 fucking charities that week? Like, sure, no problem. Like, yes, I know that's kind of one of the backhanded, like, responses in an interview. Like, I work too hard. What's your biggest fault? I work too hard. I understand it sounds like that, but, like, it'd be nice to be able to say no sometimes.
Well,
Just for your own
Yeah,
No,
your
it's not-
own
it's not a cliche-
sanity and
it's not a cliche answer.
self-preservation.
It's a thing that allows, it takes away from what you need for giving somebody else what they need. So, like, it's not a cliche answer at all, actually.
I actually think that that's one of the biggest gifts that I've been given in sobriety, is that the more I give away, the more I get back. Like I've given away so much stuff in sobriety. I'm talking clothes, shoes, money, rides, like anything possible. I know that if people need things.
Yeah, but you're also good at like cutting it off. Like what he's like, I'm the same as him.
you
Like
guys-
I have no
yeah.
fuck. I'm exactly like
are
that because you
identical.
take the time to explain it to me and be like, dude. Then I'll like try to justify it and like we'll chase it down. You'll be like, but bro, like, so I 100% will do that. I'll put 5 hours into somebody and be like, well, we saved $12, and then he'll be like, yeah, but what about the 5 hours you invested into it? What does that count for? Like, so crazy.
Yeah, what's your hourly rate times
Yeah,
5
for sure.
times what you just saved us $12? Like, that really makes sense. Please make that math for me.
You have like a specific example of like an extreme example of that.
It's I'll give you the most recent one, and don't take any of this
This
personal.
podcast?
No, the podcast I agreed to in sound mind. Y'all walked in last night as I was walking out the door, and
You were beat. Yeah.
and I was working on a 16-hour day, and 6 of it on a hot golf course, but still stayed for an extra hour.
Thanks, man.
And I know you appreciated it, and I don't mind because you're good customers and probably going to be good friends, and that's fine. But like my wife, I got yelled at, like, why did you
Yeah.
stay so late? And now you're exhausted, and now you're gonna be tired tomorrow, and blah blah blah. That's just a small recent example, but it happens every day. It happens
Yeah.
every day. I don't say no. Maybe it makes me a pushover, but yeah, people like pushovers.
No, I think like that comes to situations like that with people like you and Josh is that you guys have big hearts and like you guys really
Sure,
you
it's
guys-
it's rooted in a good quality.
Yeah, 100%.
It's just you're giving away too much of yourself.
Yeah. So I tell Josh all the time, I was like, Josh, think about like if you had fractions of your body and you divide up so much out of what you're doing, what are you taking home with you too? It comes down to because if I burn myself out, and I'm not a compassionate, loving, and caring person, which I am, but when I subtract so much from myself during my day, what do you have to give when you get home? Like how much energy you have for your children or your wife or your significant other or other things like that. Because like we're fire extinguishers. We're always putting out problems all the time. We empty ourselves so much.
God,
and I talk to the guys about that all the time, is that, look, you got to have something to take home with you. Especially TJ, in the beginning, he never turned it off. And the kudos to him now, like you do turn it off. And like he's very good about when he goes home, he spends time with his wife, his kids, like that's quality. Josh, you get better at it and you go through waves where you're like really good, and then you'll be the one at the night, like till 11:30 at night, blowing us up. I'm like, Josh. And we're like,
Throwing me in a bunch of group texts I don't care about.
yeah, exactly. Resentment 101.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, giving so much that we're not giving when we're actually at. And remember, here we are here, we are now. And like knowing that we can't burn ourselves out by doing it. We can't. I've done that over the years. That's one of my biggest faults.
And just to like give you a little bit of an example of like what that offered last night is like, the group of us were a bunch of quitters, and we were here and we were just chopping it up. But one of the guys that was here was somebody who was new into our system, and
Who,
he
Biggie?
Huh?
No.
No, and
There's another guy we won't say.
We can't say names,
But,
and so
yeah, but somebody
it's
else was
anonymous
here.
program, but
Yeah.
Anonymous.
yeah, it's
Yes,
anonymous.
it's
Yeah.
anonymous.
It's in the name.
Yeah, and so, but he was here, and he's a guy that's kind of struggled throughout this, his process. But like he was able to kind of like sit with us and like laugh and joke
Bond,
and
yeah.
bond, and so that was probably a moment for him that he's probably never going to forget. So you can wear that on your heart. man.
Sure, yes, and even if it wasn't that, I'd still said yes, and I still would have been happy about it. But like, you asked for an example, and that was the most recent one.
Yeah, no, fair, fair.
I do get a little bit better at it the older I get, and the more curmudgeon I get. I think.
What was that word?
Curmudgeon.
What is that?
What is the
That's a good
definition of
word. What is that?
Josh Colvin, can you please look up what the word
Grumpy.
definition of
It's grumpy.
Grumpy.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like Eeyore from Winnie the Pooh would be.
It's gonna rain,
Yeah,
Eeyore. It's
no
gonna
way.
rain, Pooh.
Yeah, I got to do this again.
Like Boz was like, you have to come to the banquet tonight down at Monty Oyster, and then you have to come to the Bud Hens game, and then you can go do the podcast. I was like, no, I'm not. I'm going home. I'm taking my wife to dinner, and then I'll go do the podcast.
There it is.
And so I told him no. But Boz is easy to say no to because he never stops asking. Boz, stop. He called me 4 times this morning before like 8 a.m. For what? Nothing. None of it was important.
But also, if not for him, we're not all four sitting here, so there is positives.
It's true.
Hey, dude, before 8 a.m. is tough for me, man.
That motherfucker
Well, I'm here by
never hits
I'm
me
here
up
by
before
6.
8.
If you ever want coffee and to have an early morning meeting, I'm here.
Okay.
Nice.
Yeah, no, it's
We'll
good to
know
know.
that.
It's good to know.
There's one.
Take more of your time.
I try not to smoke a cigar in the morning, but
Bro, it's the best. I'm telling you
I
right
know
now,
it
with
is.
coffee.
I know, but I know if
on
I start
vacation,
doing it, I won't not
Bro,
do
it
it.
is. Shout out to another guy in the program that I know is an old timer, and he does it every single day. And we just talked about that recently in my home group of how much he enjoys his first cigar of the day is his favorite cigar, with coffee.
Yeah.
Every morning he smokes one. Every morning with his coffee outside, drinks a cup of coffee and has a cigar, and he just enjoys it. That's how he meditates. That's how he prays. I was like, I did that on vacation recently. I was in the Keys, and I smoked a cigar every single morning when I was down there. It was amazing.
That's my happy place.
I heard while you were down there at the cigar shops, they had like hot girls that
It was wild, bro.
and they'd
Down
light
in
your
Miami.
cigar and like all that thing.
You want
Is
Chris
that
lights a
not-
cigar for you?
What's up with your model? They don't have that at all.
You know, maybe in Ann
We
Arbor.
tried. We couldn't afford it.
Yeah.
I went to Hooters. I said, "Who wants to come work extra hours here?" And they said,
We don't know nothing about cigars.
Yeah.
Like,
"You don't have to."
No, the
Pretty.
girls here are great. I'm kidding.
Yeah.
I'm kidding.
Amazing.
They help.
yeah,
they
no,
help.
they're top notch here.
Amazing.
All the employees here have been nothing but respectful and kind.
Very,
And,
very
Well, then
Service
there's
oriented.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there's
and
Dylan.
then there's Dylan.
There's Dylan. He's still figuring out life, but Dylan's a good kid. You know, I wish I had half of what Dylan has at his age. So I,
Yeah, he's
Yeah,
like-
guy drives a better car than I do.
What? What does he drive?
He had that white, fancy, tricked out Audi.
Does
yeah,
he?
yeah.
Oh, I thought that was yours.
Yeah. Nice. He's got the Audi truck, which is super nice too. And so I guess like I don't necessarily want to end on like a deep note, but I think that like what we did tonight in our first podcast was like we kind of like hit on some points that were important, and and we got to know Chris a little bit better, which is really cool, and and I think that we're gonna kind of continue in this format because it's like at the end of the day, what we are trying to do here is we're trying to spread the word of like you can, and all of us sitting in these chairs we're all business owners, and I would say that we're all like semi-successful in our own right, and our stories are different. He's not a an addict, but he still has a life and a family. And,
I'm an addict.
Yeah.
There's a reason I don't do the drugs you guys did, because I know, and I at least am blessed with pretty good self-awareness that if I start something, I'm not going to stop.
Yeah.
If I started any one of those things you said, I would not stop. Cocaine sounds amazing.
Yeah.
But I
You
know,
never tried it?
but no.
Not
I didn't.
one?
So I didn't smoke pot until I was 40 years old.
Yeah. Did you hide in the closet?
What?
No.
No.
No, you didn't get paranoid?
For the marijuana?
Yeah.
No.
Oh, you're one of us for sure then. Yeah.
I was like, oh, this is pretty good. And now I dabble but nothing stops me now, because there was, once you break that barrier and break that seal, it's just like, oh, well,
No, but marijuana is a gateway drug, according to Nancy Reagan.
it's possible. I mean, if you had cocaine, maybe we'd try it. I'm about to fall asleep in this chair, but no, listen, I'm an addict. I just haven't tried any of the fun stuff yet.
Fair enough.
Smart move.
Smart move.
But it's
Chris,
kind of like it's to spread that awareness of like
Yeah.
for me, I think that like to motivate is my life's passion, is like to elevate, and something that Josh Elchert is really really good at. He elevates people around him, and I try to embody that, and I was really good about that in the recovery community. I think that like I have a voice there, and I have people that'll sit and listen, and I can like explain it in a way where people understand it, but like to like transform that into like a larger platform for like everybody. It's like everybody should know that they're capable of having the life that they want. And I think most people don't understand that. You know what I mean? They think that like there's some barrier, and like the reality is the only barrier they have is themselves. It's like, you like cigars and it's something you wanted to do. You're thinking about med school and you're like, nah, med school's not stupid. I'll just marry a doctor, and get the benefits of that and open a cigar shop. And like a lot of people wouldn't have that. They would be scared to do that. So they would like push themselves to be a doctor. And you might be some miserable doctor that's still in like a ER floor right now. But here we are like chopping it up at 10:30 on a Friday, talking about cigars and
In your store.
and yeah, you know what I mean. And
One of your stores.
Yeah,
one
one.
of your stores.
Yeah.
And we got to go up to the Ann Arbor store.
In our
sometime.
store. This
Sorry,
doesn't
yeah.
exist without my partner.
Yeah,
But
fair.
yes.
Yeah. Shout out to what's his name?
Rob.
Rob.
He'll be
Yeah,
here.
Rob.
He'll be here tomorrow. We built a daycare upstairs for my godson. The air conditioner doesn't work, but maybe we get that fixed in time. I don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm very excited.
Yeah, I have. You know what? We can probably loan you the 2 portable ones we have at the office because we're not going to be there. Well, they'll be done at 11 tomorrow. So if you want those,
I'm willing to try it.
yeah, we can bring them over.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're right down
for
the street. We can
There's
come
2 of
pick
them.
'em
Yeah,
up.
they'll keep that up nice and cold up there. Both of them will, for sure.
So his son is your godson,
His son is my godson, yes.
and so he's coming into town
Yes,
from Miami.
So, I mean, short version of the story, and this is kind of speaks back to what we built here as being just a cool, fun place for anybody, even the people that own it. Is they were supposed to go to Spain for the 4th of July week, and they got too busy. They booked things too late. It was going to be too expensive. It wasn't going to be worth it. And he said, hey, let's just go to Toledo. He's from Toledo. He said, let's just go to Toledo. And his wife's a lawyer too. And he said, you can work upstairs. I'll work in the office down here. We'll bring the nanny and we'll set up a playroom for the son. And he can go to the pool during the day and whatever, the zoo or whatever, and hang out. And we built this room. And so, like, they're coming here to Toledo, Ohio from Miami for their vacation just to hang out here.
That's dope.
So,
yeah, it's just as hot down there, I'm sure. So
oh, it's hotter. Or it was hotter
bro.
here. It's disgusting here right now.
yeah, it's really gross right now, for sure. For sure.
Sorry,
No,
go
go
ahead.
ahead.
I think I'm glad that you brought up your partner, and like I think for us, we just haven't seen them enough. You actually, Dressel mentioned it at the grand opening and caught them, but like that's really something that we're rooted in, not only our own partnerships, but collaboration and partnerships with a lot of people. So definitely, we need to get to meet him, and we can hopefully.
That's the goal. That's the goal here, man. It's like anybody watching is like we're gonna be bringing people on and show that it's accessible to everybody, and you know it's not really about like what you can't do. It's more about what you're willing to try to do, and then eventually what you can do. You know, and that's where it starts. You know, for all of us. And at one point, all of us had like this choice, and it was like, am I gonna stay here or am I gonna like pursue this dream? You know, and so I hope that anybody that's watching this and realizes whatever your dream is, that you pursue it. You know, like reach out to us and reach out to Josh or I or Chris or whatever, and like anything we can do to help is like our goal for this. And so we would love to be able to help, and and maybe we can make something happen. That's really what TAT's about. And so I would like to finish with one thing, and we're gonna finish. It's gonna be with you. And so I was trying to think about like what a game would be, and I chat GBT'd some games,
here we go.
And so like
Boy.
You should get a Chat GBT tattoo.
yeah, and so I should for sure. If I went somewhere, I could tell you like shout out ChatGPT, it'd save my life, and I'm being serious, man. If you're not
Like,
using
fuck
ChatGPT,
sobriety,
if you're not using
saved my
ChatGPT,
life.
you're doing it wrong. You're doing it wrong, man. Business plans and everything that we a lot of what we created, I throw in there and I bounce ideas off, and then I can put my spin on it, and I throw it back in there, and I get a little bit more professional. And it's funny. It's like I'll throw out all these policies, and people are like, "Well, how does this guy do it so fast?" It's like, well, I don't even do it. So, shout out ChatGPT. But and so I was thinking about like what a game would be, and I didn't really come up with anything, but I do know that like what we want to do is like we want to show that like the lighter side of things, and so I think that if we play this game at the end, and what we're gonna have to do is like the one of the three of us we're either gonna win or lose, but like if we lose, there's gonna be something that we have to do. And so I think that what we'll do is we'll ask the question, and then if you get it right or whatever, you win the game. Basically, you get to choose which one of us gets to do what. Is that fair?
Sure.
Whatever it is, the more outlandish, the better. I think. So real quick, I was on a podcast, right? That actually, shout out Josh Coven that's behind back there that was filming that same podcast, the first one that I was ever on, and I lost the question, which is really dumb, by the way, which was like, if I would have answered this right, JD beat me actually, which we'll have JD on here at some point. But it was like, what was the biggest big cat? What's the biggest big cat? Do you guys know?
The
Cat in the
biggest.
world?
Biggest big cat, not like a house cat, like it's is it a
It's
lion?
not a lion.
yeah, okay, but
No.
what is the biggest one?
Well, so we're gonna have to specify if it's a
Anthropology background.
yeah. So I mean, there's an Asian tiger that would be considered the biggest. However, if you breed a lion and a tiger together and you get a liger, it's massive.
So what would your answer be then?
A liger?
I mean, if I'm allowed to pick that, I'm going liger.
Liger, right? And that's what I answered was liger. It was like, that's what that is. It's the biggest big cat.
What did JD say?
No, it's what the answer was, and I guess what Google says, which is the Siberian tiger. The Siberian tiger is the biggest big cat. And so
I feel like I answered both correctly.
yeah, no, you did. You said, yeah, you're right. You're right. Yeah, you're a really smart guy. I can tell that's why you have a degree and we're quitters. So, but so when I lost, what I had to do was I had to wear a dress. And so if you want to find that, you could probably search that somehow or another. And
love that.
maybe you can throw a link down the bottom. And
You got great legs for it, though.
I looked pretty decent in a dress. I actually had to dress with Jordans on, and I held a sign and I sang. What was it? What was the song? Backstreet Boys. Yeah.
Back streets, back.
I want I want it.
What
that
podcast
way.
was it?
We're not going to talk about that, but yeah. So anyway, so it could be something along those lines, or it could be something else, or whatever it is, and so I think that if I'm going to ask the question, and then you can just like Google the answer, because I really don't know the answer.
So then,
Let him ask the
hold
question.
on.
No.
No,
I
he
have
has
to-
to
I have to
answer.
He's got to answer it.
Oh, he's gotta
He's
answer
got to
it.
answer it, and then he gets to pick if he gets it right.
Which of the three of us have to
He gets
do
to
the
pick.
what would not only who does it, but what we do?
Yep, all of it.
Just remember, we have that common theme of like we like to help people. So I feel like just saying,
Yeah.
want a fresh
And
reminder
so
there.
and so what? And I think I know the answer, but I'm not 100% sure. He's gonna Google it. There's an answer to it.
Okay.
Okay.
ChatGPT.
Yeah.
What's the answer?
So-
That's the answer.
I feel like you're pretty smart, so this might be an easy one for you. How many oceans are there, and name them
How many oceans are there where?
in the world,
In the world?
and then name them.
Damn.
You don't know the answer to this.
That was a dick question.
I know, dude. I definitely don't know this.
They're all one ocean.
What is that your answer?
Huh?
Oh,
No, that's
Panjiro.
not the right answer.
I know two for sure.
Atlantic and Pacific. Yeah, I'm with you there. Fuck.
I mean, it's 11 o'clock at night on 4 hours of sleep.
Josh already has the answer.
I'm going to go with 4. I'm going to say the Pacific, the Atlantic, the Arctic, and the Indian.
and then the South Ocean, right? Is that the fifth one?
There's 5.
Yeah.
Depends on if you use oceanservice.gov, it says there's 4 named oceans.
Uh-oh. Technicality.
So he was right.
But it does have southern on there as well.
Yeah. Yep.
So TJ still wears a dress, though, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
That's pretty.
We can review back the tape when I said
I'll
5.
take 4
just
out of
to,
5.
Just to throw that out there. But all right, one more try. Fair?
What?
One more try. Fair?
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
I like this.
That was pretty
Second
close.
chances.
Yeah.
We're all
Pretty
about it.
close. The
Yeah,
South
yeah, multiple-
Ocean.
multiple
I'd like to
chances.
know where the South Ocean is, and if we consider the South Ocean or the South Sea.
Ooh.
Yeah. Well, it's like this. It's a southern, which was a contention for most people because they normally get the 4 main ones, and then the Southern Ocean's one. It's kind of like
It's just called the Southern Ocean.
Southern Sea.
No, there's the
No.
South Sea.
South
Is
Sea.
it the South Sea?
All right, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Next question.
Yep.
I got one. So I'm going to play it. You just got to give me artist or the song name.
Fuck, I don't know it. Do you know it?
Yeah,
I know
do.
the song. I
do.
can sing it.
Yeah, I can too. Right now.
Don't sing it. You'll give it away.
Yeah.
It's like the first words out of it.
Yeah.
I can't.
Closing time.
Yep.
Bam. That's it. Wrap it up.
Closing
Right.
time. What?
Closing time.
Who's the
Lighthouse?
artist?
The artist is Semitonic.
Wouldn't have been able to tell you that, but
You guys are white.
Yeah.
Wow.
All right, so now let's throw a twist. We do Rochambeau.
What does that mean?
Rochambeau. Well, there's 3 of us. How do you do that? Yeah, no, we
It's
couldn't
only-
do it.
Thank you again, Chris, for having us. I'll say this.
yeah,
Let's go
yeah.
with this. Thanks
Yeah.
for having us, bro. We really appreciate
Yeah,
you.
no, thanks for having us and
using the space and
Yeah,
it was,
we really appreciate having you out.
Yeah,
Far more enjoyable than I thought. Be happy to do it again,
All right,
even with all the subtitles on the face.
yeah, yeah, for sure.
Thanks, Mr. Coven, for filming us on the first official TAT podcast.
Yeah, and many more to come. And so, who are you picking?
I don't know if there's a diplomatic way to do it. I wish you guys would just like. I don't like to pick people.
There you go.
No, see, we're going against what the thing. It's kind of like your thing where it's like you care about everybody.
Number between 1 and 100.
1 in 100?
Yeah.
69.
What is it between 1 and 100? 47.
5.
5. So, the closest one
Yes,
to it
fuck
got
that
picked.
motherfucker.
I'm going to buy a cigar costume, and you can pick the amount of time you think is fair.
You gotta go out. Oh, I
Able
love
to
it.
sign up like
Fuck yes. Like a cigar. Yes. Dude, we gotta get smoke going out that motherfucker. Let's get into
Yo,
it.
we're going to
It's got to
definitely
be a
film
day
that
where it's not
live.
97
Oh,
degrees.
100%. We can,
Ain't no
we can do
rules.
it.
We can put cooling packs and shit in
I'm
there,
Italian.
bro.
I
No.
don't forget. We can do it in the winter.
No, hell no. We're doing that shit tomorrow. When we bring the air conditioners, it's on.
He's
If
got to
we-
get the cigar costume first.
Well,
Yeah.
what? Make that
If we
shit
can't
happen.
find
I
But
know
that's,
Yeah,
so you know
find
what?
one.
That works though because the commercial thing that we were talking about that we want to throw in. What we can do is we can use that, so that does make sense.
Yeah, perfect. You're welcome.
Yeah, so no, I'm a good sport, so let's do that. You know what? And it would make it even better if we did it right on the corner of like Monroe and Talmadge or something where it's busy.
I mean, Monroe and Haroon's a pretty busy intersection.
Right? He's saying right here to draw
Right
them
here?
in. Yeah,
Yeah.
like you got to throw
Oh,
the
I'm out
sign.
here?
Yeah.
You're out
I'm just
here.
out here?
Hell yeah.
All right. Well, let's do it on like a Monday when you got the best amount of traffic at 3 or 4 o'clock or something.
Sure, I love that.
Done.
Yeah.
Say
And I'll
less.
give you 25 minutes.
Say less.
Yeah,
That's
that
amazing.
seems like fair. Very fair.
Yeah.
25, that's a long time. You can go 15, 20, whatever you
No,
want.
40 minutes.
No, I heard 15, so
Yeah.
15 it is.
That seems fair.
Yeah, we gotta have music out there too, though.
And we could probably help him with the guy to continue to wear the costume, though.
Yeah, that's true.
Dylan.
Dylan,
Dylan.
Dylan, you
Shout out
gotta
to
wear the
Dylan.
costume.
Fucking
Yeah.
Dylan.
Yeah, poor Dylan.
He's whipping the Audi in the cigar costume.
Cigar hats for everybody.
So I thank you. Again, thank you, Chris, for
you're
having
welcome.
us
Thank
out
you.
and having this really cool space and having a conversation and good to know you a little bit more and look forward to having more of this and more of this stuff and appreciate anybody that is watching. Have a good night.
All three of you.
Real quick, so I want to do a shout out. If anybody's out there and you really want to get into a new cigar club in the Sylvania area, please come out to the Black Rose. It's a wonderful humidor. They have a wonderful selection, and they also
Biggest.
have wonderful lounges. You can also get a private membership back here in the back with a humidor with your stuff in it. Keep your cigars in there, and just come out and check it out. It's a great little space. Please come out here to the Black Rose in Sylvania. Have a wonderful night.
Yeah, get a shot of the
And
the
if you come around 3 p.m. Monday through Friday, you'll get a chance to be annoyed by us talking shit and acting wild. You can be the guy in that chair and
Turns this golf
turns
volume
it
up.
up super loud. Yeah, super loud. So
Have a good night, guys. Thank
have a
you.
good night.
Have a good
Thank
night.
you.